right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the program today. It is Wednesday with the band, live from the Hall Around Town radio studios in beautiful downtown Springboro, Ohio. Glad to have you with us in the afternoon here. If you're watching after we're live, don't forget you can chime in the comments at any time that you choose, and we'd love for you to do that today. I am Scott Hall, your host, and I'm being joined by some great people today who have a wonderful event coming up this week. And we want to chat with them because this is exciting. It's exciting for them. It's exciting for me. Let's bring them in without any further ado today. Here is, if I can get rid of myself. There we go. All right. There's Gretchen at the bottom of the screen from the Dayton Children's Hospital Foundation, and Kelly Poplin with the TWIG's Auxiliary. Thanks for being with me today, guys.
Hey, Scott. It's so good to see you.
I know, I haven't seen you in so long.
Yes. Scott and I have done a lot of wonderful things in the community. Scott, we are so lucky to have you. I love that you're still around. I love.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm still around too.
I don't mean physically. I mean,
well, yeah,
doing the things you do well. Yeah, it was great seeing you at another event at Heather's, and I'm so glad we've reconnected from our past.
What fun is that? We had a blast that night too. And, Heather's is a wonderful place. We're going to talk about it in a minute. And Heather is always so giving to the community as well. And we want to mention her as we go along here. Hello, Glenn, checking in on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. And again, guys, if you're watching us live today, we know the live viewership at noon will be a little slow. But if you're watching afterwards, any questions you have for these two wonderful ladies, throw them in the comments. They're going to monitor the show. They'll see it pop up. And they're going to share it on their pages as well. So they'll see all those comments that you want to make, or if you have a question about the event. So let's get to it here. This one's called An Evening of Fun and Music. And it's going on Monday, this coming Monday, the 25th at Heather's Cafe in downtown historic Springboro. And this is an event you guys do to raise money. And I think we ought to start, first of all, and we'll get into the details, but let's start with Kelly up there. Why, first of all, is the TWIGs in existence? And I've heard about the TWIG since I was a young person, and that's a while back. So I've heard about TWIGs. Tell me a little bit about the TWIGs group, the TWIGs Auxiliary, as they're known.
Sure. Thanks, Scott. So I first want to say TWIGs. We're not talking about the gymnastics place, even though they're awesome. But the TWIGs Auxiliary for Dayton Children's Hospital stands for Terrific Women in Giving. It was founded in 1965, and that first year they donated $16,000 to Dayton Children's, and it went towards the center's gift shop. 58 years later, we are still a sisterhood of energetic women focused on the goal of making a difference in the lives of patients and their families at Dayton Children's. So far, since 1965, the TWIG Auxiliary has raised $11.5 million.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yes.
Did you say 58 years? I mean, what longevity, first of all? I mean, that's amazing.
Yes.
That's crazy. And to raise that kind of money and all these programs that you support at Children's in the foundation. I know I've been a part of that in the past, supporting some of their programs as well. Nothing better than giving to kids in need, I think. And that's so important to our community and the future and so on. So Kelly, what's it feel like to be a part of this and to put these, I know these events are tough to put on. They're a lot of work. What makes you drive and the group drive to do that?
Well, I'll tell you what inspires me, Scott. Our family knows firsthand what a blessing it is to have Dayton Children's Hospital literally in our backyard. You said you're in Springboro, I'm in Springboro. In 2010, we spent 10 days at the downtown location. The Springboro location was not there yet. But with the excellent care our son received after he was in an accident, I am really motivated to ensure that other children and their families have the same experience. As hard as it was having our 6-year-old in an accident and spending 10 days there, just the care that we received was phenomenal. So every dollar that TWIGs raises, we are one step closer to bridging that gap and providing additional services to other children and their families in the greater Dayton area.
And Kelly, I want to echo your sentiments there about Dayton Children's. I have to say, in my previous life, before I did this fun radio thing, I was involved in the fire service and a paramedic for many years. And anytime we took a child to Dayton Children's into the ER, I was just blown away by the compassion and caring of those people there. And not just for the child who's being treated, but for the families. And I think that's the most important thing that goes on at Dayton Children's. I mean, it's just a remarkable staff. They take pride, I know, in that and caring for not only the kids, but the outlying people around them. And that's amazing to me and so good. And you guys, I've got a lot of questions I want to hit, and we've got about a half an hour to get it in. So let me get to a couple of things here. Who directly is going to benefit from this benefit that you're doing is what I want to know.
I can jump in. Yeah, I can jump in on that one.
Yeah.
So
let's talk to Gretchen.
Yeah. So I love your comments about Dayton Children's is not just for the patient or the child, it's for the whole family. We are very lucky to have Dayton Children's in our community, like Kelly said, in our backyard. Not only are we a hospital for children in the community, we also employ almost 4,000 people. So we are a big staple of the community. We're seeing almost a half a million children a year in visits. It's an important thing. And why not have these incredible women, 220, Kelly didn't mention, they are a full force, 220 women that are raising funds in the community for mental health. They are part of the solution. So we have this crisis, and I'm sure we'll get into it, but right now the TWIGs are in a $1 million pledge to pediatric mental health, which is so important. And Dr. Blankenship, she is a doctor here. She's head of psychiatry. And the way she described it was, we already kind of had a problem with pediatric mental health, and then COVID threw gasoline on it. So, like I said, the TWIGs are an auxiliary of the hospital and have been around for a very long time. And they tackle problems that are, the current problem for our youth, and they're part of the solution. And this event is going to help them raise money and complete their pledge.
And over 200 women strong. That's an army. That is, yes, that's an army of people out there.
A force. It's a force.
That is amazing. And I obviously, Kelly, you said, you're inspired obviously by your son's treatment at Children's, and that's what made you want to be a part of this. But what do you think inspires most of the people in TWIGs? Do they have similar stories?
I think everybody has their own story. I think a lot of us, I would say most of us, do have a passion. And you kind of segued into, with so many great organizations out there that others can support, Scott, why should people support TWIGs? Children are our future. And one of the biggest crises that children are facing today is mental health. Looking specifically at Dayton Children's, last year, the hospital had over 7,000 kids come to the crisis center. 7,000. The number one reason for admission, Scott, was suicide ideation, which means children are thinking about suicide and making a plan. And that breaks my heart. As young as 5-year-olds, Dayton Children's, Gretchen and her staff, they've given us statistics. Children as young as 5 years old have thought about a plan on how to commit suicide. And you can hear me choking up because I just can't imagine.
That's
and then
awful.
An 11-year-old recently who attempted suicide was asked by one of Dayton Children's staff members why she was crying. And her answer was, because I'm still alive.
Wow.
It's just heartbreaking. I cannot imagine as a parent, I can't imagine anybody having to deal with that. So in an effort to raise awareness and funds, TWIGs is currently focusing, like Gretchen said, we have a $1 million pledge in support of that pediatric mental health, because it truly is an issue. And like Gretchen said, COVID just added fuel to the fire.
Do you think that's, I mean, that the obvious, I mean, and what a tragedy that a kid that age would even think of ending their life. But do you think that's the biggest challenge today in pediatric mental health, that the kids are certainly thinking that there's no hope for the future for them?
Yes. Yes, it's very sad. And I, as an older, a younger adult, but an older person with kids, we always say that cliche of things are just different now. They have a connection to the world through social media, and this distorted view of what life is about, or how they should be, or what they're supposed to be, and just the pressures of the world. And, there's always been a shortage of resources for children. And what's so cool about the Twigs and Dayton Children's is they see the need, and they call it Feldman speed. Debbie Feldman, our CEO, she is building buildings and creating programs. And
she's a rock star.
She's a rock star.
She is. Yes.
So, we're creating these programs, and we need to, philanthropic, support is a big part of it, because it's newer idea, and this idea that our kids need more resources. And we want to get them to, get them as quick as we can. I remember one time that a doc was talking about how, if your child had a broken bone, or your child had cancer, would you wait 6 months to have them treated? Would that be acceptable for their treatment? Just because it's not an outward, sometimes it might not be an outward sign of what a child is struggling with. That doesn't mean that they don't need care as quick as possible. We talk about our children are our most sacred, and they're our future. And, we need to invest as much as we can in our children, so that the world is a better place and the future is a better place for everyone. This is deep stuff. What's really exciting is that, the Twigs have shown up, and they've created a solution. And so they do fun things and create these fun opportunities for the community to support. So, when I talk about I work with the Twigs, or I work for Dayton Children's, people will say, how can I help? And I'll say, come to a fun party with a concert and food and cocktails and auctions, and that's how you can help. It doesn't have to be, showing up to the hospital saying sweeping floors. We can do parties. We can have fun things that have a purpose behind them, and that are helping our community and our kiddos. So we're really excited about the Heathers event. You're very familiar with Heathers. Both of you are, being in Springboro. What is so cool about Heathers is they're closed on that Monday. So we have these private party opportunities that Heather has turned to nonprofits. And I think it's just like the perfect storm and the perfect opportunity for us as a community to use this space to, one, share our purpose and our mission, but two, have a good time and focus on how we can help in a positive way.
Absolutely, Gretchen. And hold that thought about Heather, because I want to dwell on that a little bit too. But Kelly, before we get into the event, and the event is why we're here, and our show is typically geared around local music in the tri-state, and you have a great musical artist we're going to talk about in a minute. But Kelly, I want to know one thing. If I were to ask you a question and say, what do you think is the most important thing people need to know about Twigs? Tell everybody what that might be.
Absolutely, Scott. So Twigs, terrific women in giving. We're caring, we're dedicated. We are a very hardworking group of ladies, and we know how to have fun. We enjoy spending time together while focusing our time and talents on a variety of events through the year. Like Gretchen said, we have Heather's event coming up. We also do flower sales during the year. There's a whole bunch of different fundraisers. Our Twigs, 220 women strong, are very creative, thinking outside the box. Every dollar helps. So we encourage women who have a passion for children and mental health, reach out to us for more information. We have 220 women. We have, I believe it's 16 branches now, all different locations. So if you're up north, you're down in Springboro, reach out to us and join us for one of our meetings just to find out what we're about.
Yeah, because you might have that winner idea that you could bring to the Twigs group, and that might be a home run for fundraising, and that's always good. Fresh ideas are always good. You know, I've done a lot of fundraising events in my day as well, and it's always good to bring other people in who have a different perspective about things sometimes, or have that story that's their passion, like you have, Kelly, and make people want to work hard to raise money. And I tell you what, you broke my heart with what you said about kids. I mean, that is just, I mean, that's a tragedy. And we do need to provide mental health for them. I mean, these kids need it. They're our future, like you said, and so important. But let's change gears. Let's talk about the event. Let's talk about the fun that's going to take place. And I want to read something here just for a second. I know you had it posted on your page. I want everybody to know that's watching. And if you have a question, again, put it in the comments. If you have a question for either of these ladies, they'll answer it. But this is going on the 25th on a Monday night, like Gretchen said, 6:30 to 10. And it's there to benefit this cause for their pledge towards mental health for children at Dayton Children's Hospital Foundation. $40 gets you a ticket in, 2 free drinks. I mean, think about this, guys. This is a value, first of all. And, you know, appetizers by Heather's. And if you've never been a part of Heather's appetizers, I wouldn't even call them that. She feeds you well, okay? She does such a great job. Silent auctions, everything going on. There's some things I'm going to ask you about a little later that you've got with the prizes. One thing that struck me in the comments there that you guys had on your page, I want to know what it is. But you have somebody else coming in, Alexis Gomez. And Alexis is playing this year for your event. And I know you've had some friends of mine play in years past. Alexis Gomez of American Idol fame. So first of all, tell me something more about the event, and then let's talk about Alexis here and her music for a minute. I see I moved the questions around on you.
You did. Yes. So you covered a lot of it. Again, just a relaxing evening with great food. Heather, I actually graduated with Heather, so I've known Heather a long time. Really not a long time. We're both very young. So
5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. As far as food, we also want to really thank Renee Hall from Nothing But Cakes. She is graciously donating over 10 dozen buntinis. She has been doing this for the past several years.
My favorite dessert.
Yes.
Come for the buntinis.
You've not had one, come and try one. We also thank Dorothy Lane Market. They also provide killer brownie trays. This year, we have sub sandwiches that are being provided by Jimmy John's in Springboro. So again, just a lot of folks in the community that know how important our pledge is for mental health. And so we really do appreciate all of them jumping on board and just helping us raise this money and support pediatric mental health for Dayton Children's.
Outstanding. And Alexis Gomez, people, if you're not familiar with Alexis Gomez, she was, and let me make sure I get this right, in the top 12 finalists of season 14 of American Idol. I think I may even have a picture of Alexis here. Let's pop that up on the screen. At her in one of the rounds of American Idol. She's a local favorite from around here. I mean, she is known to sing quite frequently at Southbrook Church and places like that. She also does many shows around. And you guys have her playing. Is she playing the entire evening, or is there a set time for her?
She is playing, I believe, on and off throughout the evening. I actually go to Southbrook, so I actually know Alexis and her family. So I was very excited. I thought, well, all she can do is tell us no. And when she heard that it was for mental health at Dayton Children's, it was the easy yes. So she will be playing. She is the music for the evening. We will let her take a break so she can eat some of those yummy buntinis if she wants.
Yeah, I think one of my drink tickets would have to go to a shot of insulin for that night for all that good stuff with the killer brownies and everything else. Gretchen just left us. I don't know what happened. I think she must have lost service. She'll be back. We'll pop her back in when she comes on here. But certainly, you know, Alexis Gomez has great music. You've heard her play then. You've heard her play in church if you go to Southbrook. And she has a wide variety of music from country flair to pop flair and all that. And she'll be a good fit for that night, especially with all the women you have that work hard towards getting this project done. And Kelly, let me talk about door prizes. There's something in there. It's called Dinorama. Tell me what that is, because that struck me as I've never heard of that. So tell me what you're doing with that.
Dinorama wall, and I don't know, Scott, if that was a TWIG clone thing, but what it is we have 100 gift cards and certificates. All of them have been donated from merchants, a lot of them local Springboro merchants, People's Bank, Frickers, City Barbecue, Chewy's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Archer's in Centerville, Starbucks. Those are just a few. So for $20, you can go up and there'll be 100 little tags on a board. So for example, I don't want to say what my number is because somebody's going to get there before me and take it. You choose one of the numbers, or you can buy 3, 4, however many envelopes you want to buy. You pick a number, and inside that envelope is at least a $20 gift card or certificate for one of those businesses. Then everybody that donates and gets one of the envelopes, you get a chance to win a grand prize, which is a $100 gift card to J. Alexander's.
Awesome. How about that, people? That sounds good. What's it cost to get a one of those chances? Can you know that off the top of your head? $20. Okay. $20. So you're guaranteed to get your money back even.
Exactly.
For your donation. And what a bunch of nice vendors to give those kind of prizes away and do that. I think that's an excellent way to raise money. And, you aim to bring $1 million to Dayton Children's Hospital Foundation. That's a pretty high bar. I mean, you have to do a lot of fundraising. And can you tell me a minute about anything else you guys have going besides this event that you're doing that is one of your biggest fundraisers of the year, something like that?
Absolutely. So it is a 4-year pledge, and we are in our 3rd year. So we have one more year. And the biggest event, one of the biggest events coming up in November is our Sugar Plum Festival of Trees. So a lot of people may remember it. This was before my time. It took place down at the Dayton Convention Center. And if you want to get in the holiday spirit, come out to Sugar Plum Festival of Trees. This year it's going to be at the American Legion in Kettering. And it starts Friday, November 10th. On Friday night, we have a Swigs with Twigs. You kind of see a theme here, Scott.
Yeah, what's happening with you ladies? I don't know.
We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. And you know what? We're saying that people, do not have to drink. We have water and pop and other non-alcoholic drinks. So, but the Swigs with Twigs event is going to be a fun evening on Friday, November 10th. And then on Saturday, they can also look at the trees. It's free to come. I always take my family and get that Christmas card picture just to take a look at all the Christmas trees and wreaths and different things. And then on Sunday, if people bid on the large trees, one of our TWIG groups, actually out of Springboro, they have been wrapping the trees for years. So bubble wrap galore. And thanks to Mayberry's, they have been amazing over the years. They actually deliver the trees for us. So we have a couple ladies that will do the north route and then do the south route. So I say Sugar Plum Festival of Trees in November. And then another fun, talking about Twigs being creative, Scott, we have Pumpkins for a Purpose. That is happening on the first Sunday in October. And I don't have my calendar. I want to say October 8th, but again, reach out to us because we have it out there. And we have people painting pumpkins that the public can come out to Waynesville and bid on those pumpkins. There's a huge pumpkin patch. It's down on 73, State Route 73. And they can also see a giant pumpkin carver, I hear, is going to be there that day. So those are just a few.
And you're right. October 8th. October 8th is correct. First Saturday in October.
Thank you. Yes.
Quickly looked that up.
So again, we're praying for great weather. And who doesn't love to go out and, have pumpkins and cider and all of that good stuff in October?
Well, Kelly, let's first of all, is there anything else you want to share today before we recap the event and get on out of here? And Gretchen, she's having connection problems, and Obviously, the Wi-Fi wherever she is kicking her on and off. But we're sorry we lost her because she's a great person and fundraiser, and works in that foundation at Dayton Children's and does such a superior job. And I want to mention Heather again. What a wonderful lady. I work with her every week at Heather's. I have a standing thing there. I do. And she's just one of those caring, giving people with a big heart. And, you know, she's going to provide a wonderful, magical night for the people that show up there. And if you haven't seen Heather's Cafe, when you hear that, you're like, oh, it's got to be a tiny little place, you know. This patio is absolutely one of the best region to go have an event on. And don't you think, I mean, Heather's a wonderful lady. That's all I can say.
I absolutely agree, Scott.
She's just that style that you like to be around. You know, she's fun. And you graduated with her, so you've known her for a long time.
I've known her, like I said, not too long. We just graduated recently.
5 years ago. Yeah, we'll tell everybody that.
Right.
We will.
You asked me. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I wanted you to fill in the blanks, anything we missed here. And again, guys, if you're watching live, that's great. If you're not watching live and you're watching after the fact, we will be watching this. They'll share it on their pages. Please make a comment if you have a question about the event, you want to get involved with the event. And if you can't be there, if you just want to make a donation, you can find out how to do that if you'll message Kelly or Gretchen, and they can help you out with that. So go ahead, Kelly, with anything else you have.
Absolutely. I was just going to share that we do have a TWIG's Auxiliary Facebook page, and that has a lot of valuable information. You can go out there and just meet different members that are a TWIG. It talks about our pumpkins with a purpose, talks about sugar plum. There's Gretchen. Hi, Gretchen. Welcome back.
Hi, welcome. Gotta love technology.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah. It does.
So like I said, please, we really encourage everybody to take a look at TWIG's Auxiliary Facebook page. Share it with anybody and everybody you know. $1, $5, every little bit just helps TWIG's get closer, one step closer to our $1 million pledge. And then the other thing I was just going to say that we get a lot, can men support TWIG's? So terrific women in giving, but absolutely, we have a lot of men, spouses, family members that they have a passion for helping out Dayton Children's and really are on board with that mental health, you know, the crisis that's going on right now. So Sugar Plum Festival of Trees, men, come on out, take a picture, bid on a tree, maybe get a wreath for your wife or loved one or a family member. And again, that Swigs with TWIG's event, which is on Friday, November 10th. We hope to see you there.
And Kelly, I'm gonna call the group Gigs. How about that? Guys in Giving. We'll do that. All right. We'll call it Gigs.
Oh my gosh. We might need
Scott. You could be the president.
Yes.
Yeah. There we go.
You could be an honorary TWIG, Scott.
Good. I would, that would be an honor. Honestly, it would. You guys, I know I've heard about your work for years. I've seen your work in the last few years. You're doing wonderful things. I mean, when I was a kid, I heard about TWIG's, and you know, it was always that they were doing great things at Dayton Children's Hospital and giving to the foundation there. Gretchen, anything else you want to share with us today before we recap the event and head out of here?
Well, I'm back from technology difficulties.
Thank you,
Scott. I am so grateful for your help in the community, and we can't thank you enough for having us on and let us chat about who we are and what we do. Dayton is an incredible community, and it was funny when I was looking at kind of the description of Hall Around Town. It's the music, stories, and combos of your town. This conversation, the story that will be told on that day, it's incredible. Dayton is a community that comes together and helps each other, and it even, you know, branches out and spreads out to, you know, the regions around us. I am a transplant from Columbus, and people said, you're going to hate it in Dayton. And it has been the best community to raise my family in. Working for Dayton Children's, I've got to meet some of the most incredible giving people, to include the terrific women in giving. I've been working with them for 4 years. And whenever there's a need, they show up. So let's show up for them next week at Heather's. And we're going to have a good time for a good reason.
Well, let's recap the event real quick. If I miss anything, you guys jump in. An evening of fun and music at Heather's Cafe in downtown Springboro. That's September 25th. That's a Monday night, people. You're not doing anything on Monday night. Get out there. 6:30 till 10 p.m. And it's supporting TWIG's Auxiliary number 33, 4-year, $1 million pledge for pediatric mental health. A $40 donation for your ticket. And that's, folks, in this day and age, $40. Come on, cough it up a little bit, get out there, have fun. You're going to get 2 free drink tickets, great food from Heather's, and a concert from Alexis Gomez. It doesn't get any better than that, along with being able to play all these raffles and games. And I just want to see the Dinorama thing. I think that's awesome. So, that is outstanding. I can't believe you have over 100 people. And I know how hard it is to go out and get those certificates and things from people. So somebody's working hard to get over 100 vendors.
They need to teach a class about it. When
Yes.
I first started being the liaison for the TWIGs, I walked in and I was like, there's a Dinorama tree, and it sold out in 5 minutes, and I didn't even get a chance to play. So, I mean, they work really hard in the details, and you hit it on the head. Like, to see some of these things are truly, truly fun to see.
And again, Gretchen, you were off earlier, but I did mention that we want to make sure people know they can drop us comments or anything and let us know. And you guys will be monitoring that. And also, you can give to Dayton Children's Hospital Foundation or the TWIGS group by contacting either of these ladies. So if you can't be there, and I know people are busy, think about giving, because if you heard that story earlier about pediatric mental health, you need to contribute to this. We need to make this go away and make it a thing of the past. And I think that's important what you're doing. So thank you, both you ladies, for being a part of this program today. And again, I can't tell you how proud I am to know both of you now, and make sure that you guys have a great event. And we're going to work on it really hard. And if there's anything else we can do for you, you let us know, and we'll be glad to help with these events.
Scott, can I say one really quick thing?
Hit it, Kelly.
If they can do reservations online, which would be great, because we're getting food counts right now. You can go to www.childrensdayton.org/Heather's Music. If you're not real sure if you can make it Monday, we also are accepting walk-ins. So invite everybody and come out and see all of the 9 silent auctions we have, a 50-50 raffle.
Let's pack the place.
Seeing you.
Let's pack the place.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Scott.
And my last endorsement of the whole thing, and I'm going to tell you, for 2 different events, and we got derailed by the COVID, unfortunately, but we had an event called Acoustapalooza with 19 acoustic music acts who played. And the last one we did, we raised $18,000 in one day. I'm very proud of that.
Awesome.
And it went directly to what Gretchen's doing there at Dayton Children's Hospital Foundation for pediatric diabetes and so on. So juvenile diabetes programs at Children's, and that's near and dear to our heart. And I know that money goes to the right place, people. So don't ever fear when you're dealing with Dayton Children's Hospital or you're dealing with TWIGS that your money's going to go to some corporate overhead, because it's not. It's going directly to the kids, and that's what's important. So, ladies, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you,
It's great
Scott.
to have you.
Thank you, Scott.
We're going to get out of here. Stay with me. Stay with me a minute, ladies. When we get off the air, I'll say bye to you here. But thanks for watching today, guys. You can catch us tomorrow at 5 with Live at 5 here and Who's Playing Out, brought to you by our friends at Froggy's in Monroe, Ohio, where we're bringing you the best musicians and venues in the tri-state and Who's Playing Out, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching here at noon today at Hall Around.